All right, we've been covering a number of provincial budgets. Let's take a look at what's been happening in terms of KZN.
It is a budget that is being called one that is going to assist KwaZulu-Natal. The lion's share of the budget will go to education, health and social services, with 66 billion going to education and 56 billion going to health. To break the budget down, I am joined by the MEC of Finance in the province, Francois Rodgers. Thank you so much for joining us, MEC. It is a budget that is said is going to assist with some of the most critical departments that have been faced with so many challenges, such as education and health. But just to formally break it down for us, where is that funding being channeled to? You also spoke about transport and public works.
I think the most important thing we've got to realize is that post-COVID, we've had an enormous amount of cuts from National Treasury. We've had to endure over 60 billion rand of cuts to all of our departments. Those departments include health, social development, and education. So we're now in a position where for the very first time we're having no budget cuts. We're seeing an increase in our equitable share, an increase in our conditional grants. What we now have to do is stabilize the provincial economy, and we need to protect our frontline departments, education, social development and health. And that is how we've put this budget together. Departments like transport, there's an enormous amount of money coming from conditional grants, which will help us on our project to ensure, that our transport systems are up and running. And that's how we've tried to balance this budget. As things improve, so we can slowly loosen the grip on the fiscal restrictions that we have in the province.
MEC, now 154 billion rand is a lot of money, and it's going to be channeled in various departments. But additional to this, we're also receiving money from National Treasury that's going to help us with disaster relief. We've seen several natural disasters over the course of 2 years. Speak to us about that.
Well, part of today's second adjustments should have been a 44 million rand allocation, but the timeframes didn't meet, so it's going to be allocated in the new budget. That's an additional funding that's coming from last year's flood disasters. I was also part of a team with the MEC of KZN that's put together an analysis of the recent disasters we've had, and that I've submitted through to the National Minister of Finance for analysis, and the Premier's engaged the President on it. So, we're not working in silos, we're working collectively, and I'm hoping that we'll see some benefit in that information that we've submitted through.
What you didn't touch on was the Itala saga, Itala SOC, receiving funding also from National Treasury. You and I did speak last week where you said you will be engaging with the Minister. Has there been any feedback with regards to Itala?
Well, I was quite excited because we got notice that today at 1 o'clock we were going to meet with the Loans Committee, which is structured by National Treasury, which would have addressed the guarantee that we were talking about, the 4.2 billion rand. Unfortunately, for some reason, it didn't happen. We've been given the assurance that it's going to happen, so we're fully on track. We've done our work with getting the information through to National Treasury. It's now a case of convening that committee so we can get that guarantee in place and that we can start dealing with the challenges of Itala, start making sure the depositors' money is available through the right legal channels, making sure that a registered bank takes over that responsibility until we sort out the legislative challenges around licensing for Itala.
And before I let you go, this is the first time that we're not receiving any cuts. I mean, we've seen over the course of the years many financial challenges that KZN has been faced with. Just your optimism looking forward.
Well, when you're in business and you deal with money, you understand that they're green shoots, and when you don't have to cut and you're starting to get, albeit limited, additional finances resources, that is the trajectory that we need to move on. Those are good signs. That means that we've had some good rains. We need now to make sure that the soil remains fertile and that we can grow out of this stagnation in our provincial economy.
Thank you very much, MEC of Finance there, Francois Rodgers, just talking about the budget that he has tabled, 154 billion rand that we will be receiving from a national treasury, and that is going to be plowed back, or the lion's share rather, plowed into health, education and social services in the province.